Wrestling fans, promoters, wrestlers, and anyone who enjoys pro wrestling now have something new to be excited about. The Wrestling Fans International Association, the WFIA, is back. WFIA is an association that exists to promote, grow, and support professional wrestling throughout the world. Membership is free. Your membership includes a free digital bi-monthly publication of the Wrestling Fan News newsletter, association updates, voting privileges, and much more. Please go to thewfia.org, that's THEWFIA.org, and become a member today.
Welcome, everybody, to the Pro Wrestle Zone here on WON Sports. I want to say thank you for everybody for tuning in. This is Rick Del Santo. Joining me, as always, each and every week, is Harry Davila of Blood, Sweat, and Tears Wrestling. And, of course, now the Pro Wrestle Zone podcast.
Hello, hello.
We are live.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
This is going to be a very, very, very busy program. Busy couple hours, you know. So first, I want to start off with first there was some sad news earlier in the week with Mike Halleck of also known as Mantar has passed away. It was reported by his daughter, confirmed. Mantar passed away at 55 years old. He competed in the 1990s and the early stages of Monday Night Raw for the WWF.
He was around to like 96 even. I believe he did some stuff with Goldust. I think
he did. He definitely
did. Usher Boy, I believe it was.
Yep. He also
he was around for a bit.
Competed in ECW as Bruiser Mastino, and he wrestled in Austria under Otto Vance's Catch Wrestling Association as well. So he is an absolute legend. I want to say rest in peace to Mantar, Mike Halleck. Yeah, lots of great memories watching him back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Available on all streaming platforms. It's professional wrestling's greatest, largest, privately owned wrestling library. All the classic hits, flips, slams, and pins of yesteryear are on one place. It's Ultimate Classic Wrestling. Check out the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, Tito Santana, Rick Martel, a who's who of professional wrestling's greatest spotlight stars ever to grace the squared circle, all in one place. Grab the best seat in the house for memories and mayhem on Ultimate Classic Wrestling.
So there's also a lot of great wrestling that we've had to discuss this past weekend.
Yes.
Of course, we're a little bit behind as far as when this airs and when, you know, the shows we go to that we discuss. So I just want to make sure that we're keeping up on all the good stuff for our listeners and our viewers.
There's a lot of stuff that happened last weekend. A lot of good wrestling and wrestling all over the place. I had the pleasure of being at two shows over the weekend. I think we'll start off with Blitzkrieg because that was the Friday show, and I go to a lot of indie shows, and I've had the opportunity to see a lot of stuff happen, a lot of cool moments. But the Blitzkrieg Luau was probably by far the most fun I've had at a wrestling show all year.
Really?
All year. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's, being part of a company and saying that about another company says a lot. It just goes to show you the product that they produce. Top to bottom, the show was aces across the board.
Okay.
As far as the content you were getting, sitting in your seat, to the absolute athleticism of the athletes, the overall entertainment, the crowd participation, it just seemed like such a loving, embracing, fun show. Because it just felt like a family came together one night to celebrate this great company. And I'm so being serious with those words. It was an amazing feeling. Blitzkrieg Luau starts with the mother of all scrambles.
Yep.
And you got guys like Bryce Donovan in there, CPA.
I got the entire lineup here: Brogan Finley, TJ Crawford, 50 cal, Bryce Donovan, CPA, Delightful Dan, the goddamn Candyman, Logan Black.
Yep.
Was it Stephen Azure and Steve Somerset? Steve Somerset.
The best in the world, as they like to call them.
Okay, those even Stevens. Yes,
that's
what they call
out
them.
of the Jersey, New York area, Rated Pros.
I've seen them a couple times. Yeah. I forgot about those guys actually. Sorry, guys.
The scramble is just a lot of fun. Oh, it's a little all over the place, but not in the worst ways.
Yeah,
it's really like in the best ways. Like, starts off with Bryce Donovan, getting a choke slam chant, and it was just choke slamming everybody. The Even Stevens played perfect foils to a lot of the stuff that happened. The ending was pretty cool, and how they got to the match later on down the line, which the Rumble was run by Brogan Finley and TJ Crawford.
Yeah.
So your champion Andy Brown now is in a 3-way with Brogan Finley and TJ Crawford, 3 of the hardest hitters in wrestling right now. So just imagine how that was, and we'll get into that even later. Brogan Finley, to me, shined brightest as a person who's not really in the Northeast, especially in this area like that, and he won over that crowd within minutes of him being in the ring. Also, the Finley name doesn't hurt, and yes, I will tell you this: he hits like a Finley.
Am I mistaken that he was on the Game Changer show then following night?
Yes,
he was.
You're not mistaken.
Okay,
he was.
Okay, so I was going to say, okay, yeah, okay.
So,
go ahead.
Just the mother of all scrambles. A 3-way ended. On how they're getting there, all really cool. Crowd was completely into it for everything, even Delightful Dan the Candyman. You're thinking Delightful Dan. Do you think of a big 7-foot giant like think Kurgan but happy? And I was genuinely surprised by what he even did in the ring. So just overall really cool way to start off the show. There was an amazing 6-man. I'm going to bounce around a little bit. I'm not going to go down the whole card.
I have the results in order if you
want to go in order?
I mean, why not? I guess, yeah. If you remember.
There was a lot going on. No, the next one was, if I'm not mistaken, Skylar and
Haley Dillon. Yep.
Yes, Haley Dillon. Oh, this was Japan, like, Joshi stuff. Like, they were beating the ever-living stuffing out of each other. And this is Skylar's, I believe, first match back from the injury. And, man, they left it all in the ring. Genuinely surprised at how that match was. Bravo to both ladies because they left it all in the ring.
Wow. From there, you had the Blitzkrieg Pro Tag Title match.
Yes, 35 millimeter versus Mad.
Yes. Yep.
This one was one of those ones where, like, I enjoy Mad as a tag team a lot. Rip Bison reminds me of, like, a happier, funner Bruiser Brody.
Okay.
And then Terry Von Vicious is just a really just awesome giant, like, wrestler who's just seems to be just, like, the happiest person in the world sometimes when you see him. Great stuff for them too. But I'm not 35 millimeter just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. They don't click. Like, Jay George is great solo. The Money Dragon, Angelo. I'm sorry if I'm blanking on his last name.
Carter.
Angelo Carter is. He knows his character, and I can say that. And his character shines brightest. I think Angelo Carter as a solo, amazing. This tag team just, I don't know, doesn't work for me. How they ended the match wasn't really like the best way, but then you have Mad, and they're awesome. So still a win at the end of the day.
I can't even believe I'm about to say this, talking about professional wrestling. Fans bring the pool toys match. We had Leary defeated Jeff Cannonball. I'm just going to let you talk about this, and I might tune out. No promises. So
this was probably one of the funnier matches, just because of the nonstop stupidity that is a fans bring the pool toy match. There was a funny spot where they grab one of the pool tubes and they put on the top rope, whip Jeff Cannonball. He sells it like it's barbed wire piercing his back. And this is all tongue in cheek. So, you laugh with it. It's hilarious. But then they do it with Leary. They whip Leary, and Leary goes in and goes and looks back at Cannonball like, why are you selling it like it's death? Cannonball comes over, touches it, he goes, I don't know. And then they just continue brawling like if nothing just happened. And it's like that's when I tell you, like, these shows have something for everyone. This was for those comedy fan wrestlers, like fans who just enjoy the funny stuff. There was a turd in the ring, a plastic turd, and I apologize. Plastic turd being madness, utter madness, but fun.
Do you like comedy wrestling?
Depends on my mood.
Okay.
I enjoy a good Santino match.
He's different. He's different. He's on
Is
a
he
different
though?
level. Some of the stuff he does is, I'd say, more acceptable. Some of it is not quite, but we might get in trouble for talking about the Northeast indie scene.
CPA is a perfect example. I can watch CPA for a while before I get sick of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. We had the Sweeper and Steven Azure.
Okay. So this was
seems, like, if I may interject before you say, this seems like it might have had quite a bit of comedy leading up to this whole show. I mean, in a way.
So between every match, the Sweeper would come in, sweep the ring, make sure everything's good, call out. Didn't think nothing of it. I've seen that other indie shows, so I'm not thinking this is going to be something huge. This is one of those heartwarming moments of the night. Sweeper's in, and Steven Azure comes out again, and he's talking about how they're doing double duty, but it's really just him. He's like, I'm gonna wrestle tonight, 1-on-1, whatever, and I'm gonna wrestle the Sweeper. And the Sweeper's in the ring, sweeping, and he's like, oh, that's me. So this leads to Steven Azure just beating the snot out of this kid. Like, he's just like raining down, boom, boom, boom. And I'm gonna be honest, I probably missed where it actually turned, but okay. So the partner grabs the Sweeper, he's on the ropes, right?
Yep.
Steven Azure goes for some move, misses, hits the partner powders out. Steven Azure turns around, code red, 1, 2, 3. Sweeper's victorious and gets probably one of the probably top 2 loudest pops of the night. Amazing.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
Crazy. Like, he almost crowd surfed. And I'm not joking when I say that.
Okay. All right. We had we went to a 6-man tag battle. This one I would love to see. So I'm probably gonna have to
IWTV.
Yeah. Miracle Ones. Kylon King. Sorry, go ahead.
This was my match of the weekend.
Yeah, Kylon King, Dustin Waller, Ichiban. They combined. The Miracle Ones defeated Young, Dumb, and Broke, which is Jordan Oliver, Ellis Taylor, and Charlie Tiger.
It wasn't Ellis Taylor. It was Griffin McCoy.
Okay, here it says Ellis Taylor.
Ellis Taylor was not the person. It was Griffin McCoy. And which was a surprise for me because I haven't seen Griffin McCoy in like live, so that was cool for me. That dude is awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm already picturing him with a couple guys out here, and I can see it being absolutely fire. And this match kind of told you who he could be in the ring with and what matches work best for him.
Right.
Then you have Young, Dumb, and Broke, Jordan Oliver, the JCW world champion, and half of the GCW tag team champions, with his stablemates Charlie Tiger, Griffin McCoy against top 5 Miracle Ones or Beast Coast, however you want to call them. Sammy Diaz, Ichiban, Dustin Waller. This is my match of the weekend.
I could see that.
When I tell you they put on a show, the words that I say will not do this match justice. Just go out and watch it. IWTV.com, Blitzkrieg, Luau. Watch this match. The crowd was hot throughout the whole match. It was something special. It was lightning in a bottle. Like, it's one of those matches where, like, descriptions don't do it justice.
Yeah. No, I mean, those are 6 of the greatest gentlemen in the independent scene right now.
Amazing. Sammy Diaz. Let's pause. Let's talk.
We can definitely talk some Sammy Diaz. I think he's only been brought up once or twice here in quite some time. And I think the last show you were putting him over left and right.
Top 5 dead or alive, and
that's not just a nickname.
It's not a slogan.
Yeah.
That dude came out and showed out. It was last year at the Luau that he got injured. Come back, did the TOS, has been, BST, doing his thing. Comes to the Luau as a replacement for Kylon, because Kylon was out with a concussion.
Right.
And absolutely, in my opinion, showed out. I believe him and for their respective teams, Griffin McCoy for his, Sammy for his. Absolutely top 5 dead or alive out here. I'm so excited he's getting red hot again out here because he deserves it. Give him his flowers. Dude's amazing.
Absolutely. We also had Aver Everett defeating Billy Starks.
What can I say? The now former WXW Women's Champion against the AEW, I believe, newest signee. I don't know if that's ever been clarified, but a GCW.
They signed everybody. They signed people every 5 minutes, bud.
Yeah, but I believe she was the tournament. It locked her in the contract because I think she's signed.
Okay.
I want to say she's signed. But those two are world-class athletes. Yeah. World-class women's wrestlers. And it was a good match. Wasn't really, it was a hard spot to be in following that 6-man. And when you watch it, you'll understand why. And this is not even disparaging those 2 women, because those women did great. But they were put in a hard spot.
We had a triple threat match for the Blitzkrieg Pro Bedlam Championship. Excuse me.
Yep.
Andy Brown defeated Rogan Finley and TJ Crawford.
Hard hitting and quick. And that's all you needed. It wasn't long. It got to the point. These 3 strikers beat the shit out of each other. These chops echoed throughout the House of Pierogies for minutes after they were delivered. It was just everything you'd expect from these 3. Big props to Andy Brown getting the victory.
In the main event, Lindsay Dorado defeated Anthony Green. I mean, what could be said about those 2 gentlemen, right?
Exactly what you can expect from those 2 gentlemen. Anthony Green on his way back to Pro Wrestling Noah to be part of the good-looking men's stable. And, Lindsay Dorado is Lindsay Dorado, world-class athlete, former WWE superstar. They do what they do best, and they got the main event for that reason. Fun shit.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. This is, of course, the Pro Wrestle Zone, and like I said, we had an exciting weekend of professional wrestling last weekend. There was so much wrestling to attend for the July weekend. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
We just finished talking about Blitzkrieg right before the commercial. GCW was in Hartford for the first time at the Webster, I believe it was.
Yes, at the Webster Theater in Hartford for Cleanup Man. So, I initially, like I said, had tickets for it. I had to back out at the last minute for a family reason.
Yep.
And then after once everything was cleared up, it was too late for me to make my way down there. So went and checked out the fireworks. How was your 4th of July, by the way? Actually, it was after the 4th of July weekend because it was the Saturday after the 4th.
Actually, pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I didn't have to go anywhere to see fireworks, which is great.
I saw you post videos. Yeah, you could see them right up there.
I was on my porch, just enjoying the night, clear night. So I was just, on the catching some fresh air, and then I look up and there are the fireworks, and I'm like, amazing. I had to drive there.
We had to drive 5 minutes down the road. We parked on top of a hilltop, and we were able to see them perfectly clear. We went and got ice cream at the local ice cream shop, and then went and sat down, on top of the hilltop, parked. And
I didn't get no ice cream. What the heck?
Well, that's your fault. You didn't leave your house. We had a blast. My kid wouldn't stop talking to me though the whole time. I said, "Just watch the fireworks."
That's what kids are for, I guess.
Yeah,
I understand. Yeah. I understand. Trust me, I understand.
Yeah. I mean, you have kids too. You got kids too.
I do. That's why I understand. Mine's here. Sometimes 3 days straight, and he just the whole time, Dad.
Hey, man, it's that's a special bond. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I love my kid. My kid's awesome. Just talks a lot.
So we're going to talk more independent wrestling that took place in the Northeast. It's a shame. So it's on July 8th, GCW presented Cleanup Man. It was also live on Fight Plus, so I did not go to the event live. I ended up watching it on Fight Plus Sunday morning because I ended up watching another show we're going to talk about that night.
Yes.
Before.
GCW Cleanup Man was a very fun show. Another hot show throughout the Northeast and the Connecticut area. Connecticut is booming. I keep saying this. Connecticut is booming. A lot of good independents around here. And GCW is no different.
We got companies coming into Connecticut to get a part of that love. You know what I mean? Be a part of that heat.
Crowd, honestly, just like Blitzkrieg, is almost like the continuation of a wave. Still red hot for almost everything on Saturday the 8th. I get there. I was a last minute ticket buyer. I wasn't sure if I was going to make the show. My brother had sent me a text. He goes, "Hey man, are you going tonight?" And I'm like, "I am now." So I got to spend the day with my brother and his friend. And that was a lot of fun because we hadn't done that in a while. Get there, and I got there just in time for the opening 4-way scramble between Dustin Waller, Alec Price, Brogan Finley, and Grim Reaper. And this is one of those blink and you'll miss it matches.
Yes.
It was just high octane, fast paced. Grim Reaper, for the veteran, looked amazing, doing some stuff that a man who's been in the business as long as he has shouldn't be doing just because of his age. And I say that with all due respect, but that dude is awesome to be doing the stuff that he was doing against those young bucks. Brogan Finley continued to impress. I'm telling you, he hits like his dad. I feel it every time he would strike one of these men. I just would feel my chest caving in. That's how hard he was hitting. I felt bad for anybody in the ring with him. Alec Price showing why he's the Northeast, the Beast Coast, all that, the Northeast Beast, whatever you want to call him. Alec Price is the
OG.
Yeah, that guy is the man. That dude,
there's a reason he's probably the top prospect out here in the Northeast. Let's be honest. Seriously. This guy, I've watching him a few years now, and he's just getting better and better. And same with Flash. They're just getting better and better and better and better. And, you know, there's a reason why these guys were put on first. They got that crowd hot and loud and excited.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got a text message.
Breaking news?
Yeah, but I can't break it quite yet because not everything is confirmed. But some cool stuff could be coming down the pipe. We'll talk about that a little bit once we're off the air. We can hopefully relay the message next week.
Okay. All right.
But
either way from there, that Alec Price won the match over Dustin Waller and Brogan Finley. And
we didn't get to put over Flash in this forward because that young man, and we both had the pleasure of working with him in some aspect. Yep. That kid is awesome, and I'm glad he got to show out in his home state. You know, being that he is from Connecticut, I felt like that was the perfect platform for him for people to see him at his best, and he didn't disappoint.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a phenomenal performance by him in his home state. So from there, we had Jimmy Lloyd and Wasted Youth. Of course, Wasted Youth made their appearance. It was a week prior. So it was exciting to see them again. They defeated the SAT of Joel and Jose Maximo and Will Maximo. So
yes,
the
SAT.
The SAT. I thought this was a great match. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you took the SATs and then you gave them like something like a mirror match, and you got the three men across the ring. And it's crazy because one of them doesn't look like the other two. And I'm talking about Jimmy Lloyd here. Jimmy Lloyd was, to me, the breakout of this match. Obviously, we know the SAT's resumes, the fathers of the style that we see today.
Yep.
We just spoke about Wasted Youth. You made their debut for BST last week. Hot young tag team that have some of the most impressive, innovative wrestling maneuvers this side of wrestling. And then there's Jimmy Lloyd, who a lot of people dub him as just a hardcore or backyard wrestler. And the kid is out here stealing the show. Jimmy Lloyd was doing stuff like Wasted Youth, and he's not like Wasted Youth by look, by appearance, by everything. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, so like let's put some respect on Jimmy Lloyd's name, man. That guy is out here. I'm very happy for him. And they got the big win over the veteran tag team. Awesome stuff all around.
We had John Wayne Murdoch defeating Effie and Cole Raderick. I'm just going to leave this one to you, please. I can't.
This one was weird because, I mean, I'm an Effie guy. I love Effie. I love what he's done.
I'm going to prevent an argument right now by taking it quiet.
We can talk about it later.
It has nothing to do with his lifestyle. I'm just going to throw it out.
Oh, no, I believe it. Well, trust me, I didn't think that at all. But
well, you never know. People, that automatically assume. So.
Oh yeah, no, I exactly cancel culture. But no, like I respect what Effie has done for his community and what he's done for wrestling for his community. That's why I'm really a big fan of his.
I understand. I'll give you that. Absolutely, 100%. I'll give you that.
You know, I'm not the biggest. I'm like being completely transparent here. I'm not the biggest John Wayne Murdoch guy.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen him, I think. So
it's not one of those things where I don't like it. To me, he just doesn't do it for me, and that's okay. I respect him. It just wasn't for me. And Cole Raderick is one of these young guys who I'm just waiting for him to break out, especially out of that indie scene. Like I think,
right.
I think he doesn't get enough mention as one of the top guys in indies right now. And his matches didn't do anything for me personally.
No, I get you. I fully understand. We had Charles Mason and Joey Janela.
The best character on the indies right now versus Joey Janela. And Joey Janela is GCW through and through. He is pretty much like
He's been there for almost since the beginning, or at least for a very long time.
Nick Gage may be the heart, but Joey Janela is the soul, or vice versa, however way you want to see it. This was a great match. It continued the story between Mason and Janela. And Joe, I can't really say much else. This match was good. It was what you expect from these two.
Yeah.
Charles Mason is just an amazing wrestler that understands his character, and his character is so fleshed out and so good that you can't just help but be mesmerized by his performance. Everything, even those little things that he'll do, like the little mannerisms, or for instance, I think Janela was bleeding. He went and, he put it on his, licked his hand, and, stuff like that, like those very creepy serial killer vibes that he's known for. Just he plays it to a T. Amazing work.
This one was a very, I'd have to say, a sort of unique matchup for GCW.
Okay.
GCW World Champion Blake Christian defeated Richard Holiday. It was a title match, and it was very good. And of course, Blake Christian just, I guess you could say, cheated to win.
This match was special.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
especially for his Holiday's debut. He's home field advantage for Holiday. Crowd was hot for Holiday.
Yes,
there was a moment in this match where we all thought Holiday was the champion, and the crowd went nuts. Blake Christian is top 5 best indie wrestlers right now.
Blake Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that he's had a great career so far, and he's young. He spent his time wrestling everywhere. His time in Impact. He's done some time there. He's done some time in NXT.
Yep.
Which, I don't think he really had, he had some good stuff there, but he didn't have a full time to shine the way he should have. You know what I mean?
The pandemic ruined that for a lot of people, I think, had the pandemic not.
It was that era. Yeah, it was that era. Him and Christian Casanova coming in at the same time, a.k.a. Carmelo Hayes. And I was surprised that both of those guys, not surprised, but surprised in a way that both of those guys were being brought in and at the same exact time. It was a lot of fun to see, and it was great. And moments when guys like that get signed, you just kind of clap on the inside a little bit.
Of course. Yeah, I agree. I do. The pandemic kind of ruined that for a lot of people. I guess I wouldn't even say ruined. I guess what it did was it revitalized a lot of careers. Yeah. Blake Christian was, and this is not an insult, but he was white meat babyface. Yeah, I know everybody's heard that term.
Yeah.
He's very, yippee, Blake Christian, I'm the man, all heart. And it was great because he's a great athlete and he's an amazing wrestler. But once that switch flipped and he became cocky and arrogant, and he started to really show his character as a cocky, bad word. It was off to the races for him. And I believe now he's finally found that full, package, that total package for him, what works. And it shows he's having fun with all the stuff he's doing.
Now, I know he made some AEW appearances after his NXT, run and stuff. So are you surprised they didn't get a full-time gig there in a way?
Yes. Yes.
Me too. 100%. But at the same time, I think it might be, the way that AEW is signing people. I think it's better for him in the long run, his career.
Yes.
Unless you just want to sit around and just get paid for not doing anything. You know what I mean?
And there are people who do that. And you know what? I'm no one to say, hey, man, don't get your money.
Yeah.
Go get your money. But Blake Christian is not one of those guys, and he left the WWE product, and it was a really rough time for a lot of us. He didn't know what he was going to be doing next, if wrestling was even going to be a thing that was possible. And then slowly but surely, the things started opening up, and people started turning on him. And it's the same thing over and over again. Blake Christian having the really close match. He's so good, but he never reaches the goalpost. And again, once he flipped that switch, it was off to the races. And how he even won the title was some of the most dastardly things I've seen a character do. And it's cool. It's great. And I'm glad that he's getting the shine that he gets. He cut an amazing promo too against Holiday.
Yeah.
Like an amazing promo. And Holiday had a fight with a lot of double spirited, should I do the right thing, or should I go back to who Richard Holiday truly is? He had a lot of battles with himself, and I think that's what ultimately cost him the title. Blake Christian up, and I'm not against it.
What we ended up having a 3-way tag team match. Please help me with this one.
Los
Mexicos defeated Waves and Curls.
Yes.
Also local heroes.
Yep.
And Yokai.
Mm-hmm.
Say that right? Okay.
That is Yoya and Janai Kai.
Yes.
This was the match I was kind of alluding to earlier in the conversation we had before the show started, where this one was rough, and I just think the chemistry wasn't there for all three teams. There's a lot of clunky parts.
Yep.
They did their best with what they had, but this just wasn't it. And that's disappointing because me and you know how good Waves and Curls are.
You can go to any freaking show in Connecticut that they're on, and they're over. Literally, they're over.
So going back to that match, their intro, when they came out, crowd was all over it.
Yeah.
All over it. But the matches wasn't great.
It's not always going to be great. You know what I mean?
No,
the matches.
It was just knowing who was in the ring. It was disappointing that it wasn't better than what it was.
Right. Oh, yeah, the GCW Tag Team Championship match, the East-West Express.
Yes.
Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne defeated Gringo Loco and Jack Cartwheel. Cartwheel, I've seen make a couple NWA appearances as of late as well.
Yes.
So, very familiar with this gentleman.
Jack Cartwheel can cartwheel out of anything. Just cartwheel on anything. You're walking, he's going to do a cartwheel. That's what you can expect from Jack Cartwheel, but he does them in the most impressive ways that they make his offense so innovative.
Right.
Because he adds those elements. Gringo Loco, probably one of the top luchadors in the world. One of the only luchadors to have a pinfall victory over Vikingo. He is called the base god for a reason, because if you see any high flyer against him, watch how he catches everybody. He's perfect. His body size is perfect for the lucha style. Then you have the East-West Express. Jordan Oliver just praised him a little earlier. JCW World Champion and half of the GCW Tag Team Champions. And then Nick Wayne made his debut on Wednesday against Swerve Strickland. He is an AEW contracted star and half of the GCW Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
I actually had a conversation about Nick Wayne earlier, and I compared Nick Wayne to a Dustin Waller. He is what I would say the mirror match of Dustin Waller on the West Coast.
Okay.
Jordan Oliver, pretty much the spirit of Trent Acid reborn in a new wrestler. Jordan Oliver is amazing. And these two put on a hell of a show against oh my God, excuse me. Oh my God, I'm blanking.
For this show? Is what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Gringo Loco. And,
yes.
And Jack Cartwheel. Yeah.
Their tag team stuff is so crisp for as little tag team experience as they have as a tag team.
Right.
It's cool to see two different style tag teams as far as like Gringo and Cartwheel don't team often, so
Right.
seeing them put together and seeing some of the stuff they put together was pretty cool. This was what you would expect out of a GCW tag title match.
Right. Yeah. From there, we got you. I'm not even going to try to, but Utami defeated Billy Starks.
I know little of Utami. This was, I think,
I don't know a lot either. So, yeah.
My first time watching her, and damn. These Japanese women's wrestlers and it's
a different world.
Hard to explain. It's a different world, and the things that they do out there, you can't compare it to what American style women's wrestling is.
Right.
They just hit so hard, and Billy Starks was with her the whole way. And Tommy was just too much, and the crowd showed so much respect for Tommy. I believe this is like her first time in the States, to my knowledge. I could be wrong, but to see the love that they have, and for someone who hasn't been out here like that, was pretty cool to see.
Of course, the main event was Nick Gage defeating Psycho Clown.
If you've seen one Nick Gage match, you've seen them all.
I'm glad someone said it.
High energy from the jump. That's all I'll say.
I got nothing to add for this one. So I want to say thank you. We're gonna take another break here. We got to take they make you take a break after a while, and so we're gonna run these promos, and we'll be back, and we'll be talking more professional wrestling. And we're back.
Hi, this is Bob Smith. You might remember me from my years of pro wrestling
independent wrestling out of the
well, now I've started a brand new podcast called The Outdated Wrestling
All
Hour.
those great
yes, we're going to take a whimsical look back at wrestling figures, stars, and trends
from
years gone by. We're talking 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
You were watching MLW.
And a whole lot more.
Yes, I was. I thought that I was pumped up for the MLW show.
Please tune in for the Outdated Wrestling Hour.
A lot of fun, and
you get your podcasts.
Did you watch it all?
I saw. So I kind of watched it on the ride home.
Okay.
I saw bits and pieces. I went watching it looking for specific names. But I did get to see some of the stuff. I got to see a little bit of Alex Kane versus Hammerstone, and I got to finish watching that. From what I saw, it was really good. What else did I know? I saw the women's title match. I saw a little bit of that between Delmy and Ava Everett. And I saw a little bit of the tag title match between the Samoans and
All right, so you saw a little bit of it. I'm going to go through the results here and talk about it. All right. So we had the show, the live portion of the because there was a fusion taping as well.
Yes.
Not going to go over those results just as of yet or today, but I'm going to let you all tune in to Fusion this week to watch them, and then we'll talk about them. So we had Jacob Fatu defeating Calvin Tankman. Both men are freaking beasts. Tankman is a guy that I've learned to love.
Yes,
watching MLW because who was he having a feud with about a year or so back?
It was Alex Kane.
It was Alex Kane. Okay, so I'm not going crazy. I was about to say that, but then I didn't want to. That dude, like Alex Kane, has become one of my favorites. And Alex was on this show 2 years ago after he won the National Openweight title.
Yes.
Like just days after. So that interview is out there if you want to go back and watch that. So, folks, okay. So this is just, this match was just a nice hard-hitting match, just as you'd expect out of these two gentlemen. It was freaking, this was for the National Openweight title. And this is one of those matches just jaw-dropping the way that these guys were hitting each other.
Calvin Tankman is a hard hitter.
Yep.
Hard hitter. And you spoke about you're growing your love for him through MLW. Watch some of his DPW stuff.
Okay.
Watch some of his Warrior Wrestling stuff. Calvin Tankman is somebody that would do amazing in the East Coast.
Yeah. I would love to see him come out here and work. I would. Yeah.
Absolutely.
From there is a winner-take-all match for the MLW World's Women's Featherweight Championship and the WXW Women's Championship. We had Delmy Expo defeat Ava Everett by pinfall in just under 7 minutes. This one was an okay matchup. Nothing really to explode about.
I saw bits and pieces, so I don't really want to judge, but these are two women. You're saying it's an okay match, and that, to me, is disappointing.
This is just my outlook. I mean, you could have a completely different outlook on the way that you see it. Maybe it was my mood that I was in at that particular moment.
I'm not taking away anything from anyone. You thought it was disappointing. I respect your opinion 100%.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're gonna have the same opinion. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, but I'll go in, like, let's say for instance you go, hey man, watch this Kurt Angle versus Eddie match. It wasn't so great. I'm gonna go into the match now going, I know, bad examples, but I'm gonna go into the match going, I'm gonna set my expectations here as opposed to here because I know what these two women can do.
Right.
I mean,
it was a decent match. It was good, but maybe I was just expecting something a little different. Maybe I was hyped up for the main event and a couple other matches on the show. You know what I mean? Like that I was just like sometimes that does take you out of the element sometimes for certain matches. This match, though, I absolutely loved. Tracy Williams defeated Timothy Thatcher by referee stoppage. Complete.
Euro style, I'm assuming.
This was the perfect game of catch as catch can. I was a mark. I'm telling you right now, because I absolutely loved technical wrestling, and this was just phenomenal. I absolutely loved it.
Okay, answer me this, because I didn't get to see this, and I'm going to probably tomorrow now that you're talking about it. Timothy Thatcher, was he his normal, rugged, grind you down style?
Yeah, for the most part. Right. Yeah.
All I need. If you're telling me Timothy Thatcher's in a match and he's grinding some dude, I'm all in there, bro. And I say that.
It sounds a little weird on the show.
That's fine. Listen, I'm not. Whatever. Okay, if you took it there, you took it there. Okay. What I'm saying is that Timothy Thatcher will grind you into the ground, and it's always the most painful looking stuff that you can witness. So if you're telling me he's doing that to a human, I want to watch this.
Right. From there, we had Mance Warner and Sam Adonis in a country whipping match. This one, I have to say, was a lot of fun.
Mance Warner, probably one of the better brawlers right now going. Right. And then Sam Adonis can brawl, and then he can add that little element of American style and lucha style.
Right.
And you mix that in with all the brawling stuff, and I'm pretty sure you have a jambalaya of fun stuff, like you said.
Right. Yeah. What else do we have here? The Calling, which is a Karen Ricky Shane Page defeating the SST for the tag titles. The Fans Bring the Weapons tag team title match. I don't think I saw anything too weird in this Fans Bring the Weapons. I have in the past, but yeah.
Again, I saw bits and pieces. What do you think? What'd you think?
It wasn't bad. It was a lot of fun. I love the SST. I think they're great. I like Ricky Shane Page a lot as well. It was fun to watch. It was a good watch. Yeah.
Well, now this makes Akira, if I'm not mistaken, double champion.
I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
Also, let's rewind a bit because we didn't really touch bases on the women's title match. I was surprised with the title switch. I will say that I wasn't expecting it. Being Ava just won that title.
Yeah, you do have a point there. Yep.
So that was very shocking, and I hope it leads to a rematch, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're going to keep everybody updated here on this show, so stay tuned, and we'll bring you all the MLW news. I'm watching MLW quite a bit now. It's one of my weekly go-to shows. So.
I had to get back into MLW, like at putting it in my rotation. Excuse me, because of all the I guess channel swapping and all that stuff over the last year.
Yeah, well, they end up putting them up on YouTube as well. I think still.
Yeah, but it was very inconsistent for a bit.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of find the rotation back for that.
And then I think they were on Wednesdays for a while, and then moved to Thursdays, and I think for a little bit they were on Tuesdays, and then because I'm sitting there having a conversation with somebody today, and they're like, "Isn't it on Thursday?" So I was like, "I could have sworn last week it came out on Tuesday." Maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know. But
there was a lot of inconsistency, so I kind of lost. I keep track.
It's hard to keep track of, because when I first started watching, when they first came back and first started watching, they were channel hopping quite a bit. Then they were on a channel that nobody in the world had. You know what I mean? So it's they're kind of like Impact. How many people actually have what channel? What the Access channel? You have to have a Dish Network or whatever to have that channel. Very few.
Or get the app and have to have a subscription with like you said, Dish or whatever, just to watch it.
Yeah, on YouTube you could actually subscribe to Impact's page. Pay a $5, or I think there's for a 99-cent monthly fee. You get to watch that show live every week as it airs, or the $5 tier, maybe $5.99 tier, I think it is. You can watch that show, plus you get monthly live specials and other exclusive content as well. It's quite the deal, believe it or not. That's how I watch the show every week. Yeah,
I didn't know that at all.
Oh, it's a great deal, I think.
On YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube. Go to YouTube. There'll be a subscribe option, and you can just click it, and then it'll you put your information in there. I believe the dollar option was just the weekly TV. Plus, you get Before the Impact, which is the new version of Explosion with that stuff.
All right, you know what? You said it. As you continue talking about MLW, maybe I'm gonna subscribe.
There you go. It's worth it, dude. I'm telling you, it is. And that's the one thing, before I get in and continue about MLW, Impact, in a way, has been struggling for a number of years, but they do actually care about their fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they want people to see it. So they know that a lot of people don't have that network or have access to that network, that they're going to put that show out there for you to have. For a while, they were putting it on their app, which ended up being a week delay for a while, and then all of a sudden they're like, let's do this. They had it on Twitch for a little bit for free, and then they just went through, they're probably like, shit, we're losing way too much money doing this, we got to come up with something else. And that's when they came up with the YouTube thing. Look at that. Harry subscribe. Look at that. Now we can start talking about Impact each and every week here. How about that? Them apples.
Yeah, let's do it. And I'm gonna be honest, with all the wrestling on television, I'd rather watch what Impact is doing right now. I think Impact is my number one on TV company to watch. I do watch this stuff on YouTube whenever it airs. But they have an amazing roster of wrestlers right now.
We should talk about that. I put them over quite a bit because I do want to get into the MLW main event. But at first, I want to say that Impact has struggled for many, many years. I think there's a lot of people that won't go back to it because of
the stench.
Yeah. And I swore I would never go back to it after the October 10th, the 10-10-10 thing, when Hogan and Bischoff just sat out there for an entire hour, and there was not one match. They just sat and talked for an entire hour. And
so I find it funny that you bring up 10-10-10.
Oh God, I was built up for that and I was so pissed off. I shut it off. Go ahead, and I'm going to tell you more.
I was gonna let you finish because I'm like,
well, it took me 8 years to put it on, and a lot of convincing from my friend. Then I ended up turning on Slammiversary 2018. Okay. And I said, damn, that was a really good show, because my friend kept hyping up the damn Impact, saying it's gotten better. Don't worry, no, all that stuff. So then I watched it and I said, damn, that was a really good show. And then Bound for Glory 2018 came to Queens, and me and my buddy went to the show. And I said, that was one of, if not the best wrestling show I've ever been to live. I'm telling you now.
Was that when Bubba Ray put Dixie through the table?
No. This is that's way after. This is John Morrison, Johnny Impact, whatever you want to call him, defeated Austin Aries for the title. Austin Aries flips off what's his face, and then just walks out of the company. Yep.
You said Queens, and for a minute I just kept thinking of like that show a couple years back, but I forgot that show was in Queens.
Yeah, it was. We took the train out there and then hopped in an Uber and got over there. And I gotta tell you, man, I got sick to my stomach that night as well, off of a burger. And then it was good. I sat next to who was standing next to me the whole night was Dan Moff and KM Kevin Murphy the whole time. I guess they rented Moff's ring. Yeah. And,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so he was literally where my seats were. I couldn't really see too well, so I stood up. Right here, that's where they were, like standing over here next to me. So I was like,
Impact is such a weird company as far as like their history goes, because that 10-10 show, like going back to that 10-10 show, like I was just listening to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson, and they went over it. I'm sorry. I like when they do the reviews. I find it funny. I
like the retro reviews. I love listening to retro reviews.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
It was a retro review. They went over like the older shows and whatever, and I just listened to their episode on 10-10-10, and hearing all the backstage stuff and like the dumb shit that happened, man. That show was a cluster.
Yeah, I don't even remember it. I'd have to go watch it. Seriously. I'd have to go watch it back, because I'm telling you, if I watch it, I'd probably get pissed off again and never turn it on again for another 8 years.
Listening to the episode pissed me off. And I remember ordering the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was so aggravating. Anyways, back to MLW. We had a new world champion crowned. Alex Kane defeated Alexander Hammerstone, and congratulations, Alex Kane. I mean, this guy, he's like a Steiner.
Alex Kane, Boomaye. Alex Kane, Boomaye.
Yes.
Alex Kane, Boomaye.
This guy is an amazing professional wrestler, and this match was off the charts good, man. I'm telling you, this was just edge of your seat kind of a thing.
I love MLW for what they do with their champions. This is another example of making the openweight title mean so much, because this man, just like Hammerstone, held the openweight title for about a year now, I think, before he dropped it, and then immediately shot up to the world championship, and now look who your champion is. It's a very parallel road to the one that Hammerstone took.
Right.
And what made Hammerstone one of the names out here in indie wrestling. So good for Alex Kane, man. I'm so happy for him. Dude worked his ass off. So congratulations to him.
Absolutely.